didn't work. Let's try it again. Okay, now I think I'm with ya. Good morning, pregame crew. Audio visual check, please. Make sure all this stuff is working. Good morning, Veronica, Night Truck, James, Roger, Barry, Tamazon, LAP, Blue Dog. Good morning. How are ya? I'm getting a lot of dropped frames. Oh no. Awesome, Chuck. Okay. So I am watching my dropped frames. I hope that this Wi-Fi holds up in the hotel. Thank you, Blue Dog and Topher. I appreciate it. Mira Asia, Veronica, Homa, Crypto. Good morning. Happy Not Monday. Good morning, Diego and 83 Madden. Good morning to everyone but Ed Ogeron, LSU coach. Kidding. We are having some serious buffering issues. Please hold. One second. Oh, thank you, Tammy. I appreciate the message. Okay, folks, give me 1 second. We'll get started here. I don't know if the stream is going to work. I'm just going to keep going until y'all tell me you can't hear me. All right, ES is in an hourly uptrend. Hey, George. Hey, Brian. ES is in an hourly uptrend. We are super bullish overnight. Hourly uptrends are the name of the game. So if I drop off, the most important thing for the day for you to know is hourly uptrends. However, I would be looking bearishly this morning and then move away from that idea once we come back to potential higher lows, because most of these moves have plenty of room for higher lows. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to quit worrying about it because it's very distracting, audio-visual issues. I will be heading back to my main station today to my trading rig, and everything should be back to normal tomorrow. So today we will discuss the indices, crypto, super bullish overnight, commodities, movers and shakers of the day. Hey, Train Man. We officially get started in 5 minutes. If y'all have a request right now, I have time to do that. We have a lot of fun setups. Someone asked me last night, what is the Queen of the Mountain? It is just a play on words, obviously because I'm female. King of the Mountain, you know the game kids play to see who can be on top of the hill and they push the other kids off, and whoever's the strongest is King of the Hill, King of the Mountain. Well, it's a play on that little childhood game, Queen of the Mountain. So I'm saying these setups that I'm bringing you are the best setups I've found of the day. These are the Queen of the Mountain as far as charts go. Okay, let's look at Maxar. Maxar is in a daily downtrend. Despite getting this higher high here, the bulls have to prove it with a higher low and then get that higher high. They ran into a downtrending 50 MA, which is fine. That happens, doesn't mean game over for bulls. This is a decent sized bounce. And the size or depth of this pullback, we are at the 50% retrace. So the bulls need to save it right here. If they want to get a higher high, odds favor a lower high on a bounce. And this bear volume is slightly alarming. We've dropped below the 50 on the daily RSI. So step number 1 is change that hourly trend. So we got a double bottom yesterday of 28.75, 28.76. And when we say trend changes, what we mean is get that high, get that higher low, and then get that next high. That is a trend change. All right, one more before I get started officially. CCJ, we got lots of uranium names in focus. So CCJ had this daily cup and handle. It was one of our Queen of the Mountain trades set up yesterday. We had this little bull flag that broke bull. We barely got over this 26.57 and then we pulled back. I think it's important to note where the bodies of candles stop. Do you see that? Let me squish this for you. So 26.57 was that key 52-week high. Was it an all-time high? No, not an all-time high. So it was a 52-week high, and yet the body of yesterday's candle couldn't close over that. Do you see that? Again, let me zoom in again. Right there. So I think that's important. Now we look for a higher low compared to 24.68, which bulls have plenty of room to get that job done. So 26.17 is key support coming into today. Thanks, Davey. I hope you have a good day too. Okay, let's see. One more. Amazon, I still love. We talked about it yesterday. They had some bad news from the government yesterday and had a pullback. There we go. So on this weekly chart, I talked to you about this faux head and shoulders and zooming out and looking for a bull flag on a higher time frame for Amazon, which I still see on the 3-month time frame. So let's break it down frame by frame on the hourly. We have yesterday's high to contend with. We have the high of pre-market, the high of yesterday, which is still a key level, high of the low of pre-market. So here are your levels. It's positioned well. Hourly uptrend, no problem. However, I would look bearishly at the open and not get too aggressively bullish. What's the RSI? RSI is extended on the hourly. It's coming back though a little bit. It is cooling off. On the 4-hour, RSI is 73. So just be aware of that. Look at your name, and if it's not in a blue sky breakout and RSI is extended, that means we could have incoming healthy consolidation, and it's expected to be healthy because we have so much room to get those higher lows. So, hey Scott, I'm excited you're here. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. I get to hang out with 1,000 of my closest friends every day in the chat room. So let me show you what we do. So here's our chat room. We have tons of channels. And here's an example. I'm going to highlight Chris Brown. I don't think it's that kiss Chris Brown, but he scanned the most active stock options yesterday. And here's what caught his eye. And he breaks down technical analysis on every name that he found. Do you know how valuable this is to have members like this in a community that you get to trade with every day? Because trading can be a lonely vocation. So it's pretty cool. We have some really cool members, and that's what we do. And what I do here on the pregame show is I go over the indices, crypto, commodities, movers and shakers of the day. If I have time at the end, I go over request. I don't always have time to go over request. If you're a TCG member, you get your request answered 3 times a day in the room. So let's get started. ES. All right, so ES, we've got an upper wick up here. Let me get it back to the hourly or it's going to be super messy. 1 second. I guess it's going to be messy no matter what, but let's see if we can make heads or tails of what's going on. So hourly RSI is up at 71. We're hitting psychological level of 4,500. And this could be an hourly bull flag. Yesterday, we were looking for that 4-hour bull flag that came to fruition. But again, our RSI is super extended up here. So let's see what the bulls or the bears can do with this setup. Your support on a pullback 4472. And then I would really watch this 4450 area, the former golden pocket. It could come into play if we were to pull back that far. We have technology earnings this week. Netflix kicks us off and then Tesla. I can't tell you how important it is for these technology earnings to beat. They have to beat and raise guidance in order for the market to keep going. And why is it more important today than it was yesterday for them to beat earnings? Because we are pricing in good earnings. This kind of run, all of our names are getting lifted. Remember, these tides, rising tides lifts all boats. So we are pricing in amazing earnings. So now it has to be blow the door off type earnings in order to keep going higher. So I wish we would have gone sideways into tech earnings, and that way a beat could have gotten that lift. So caution on getting too bullish earnings. Netflix, I believe, has earnings today after hours. As always, please confirm for yourself. But they are positioned very bullishly with this proximity to all-time high with a weekly bull flag. So that bodes well for technology. So your resistance overhead is 15399. Let's just round that off at 15400, 15,400. Absolute key for technology to resume higher. So let's get a higher low. Let's get a higher low relative to 15280, and then we could go tackle that. So again, on most names, hourly uptrends, on any pullback, they have plenty of room for higher lows. So don't get overly bearish. I am scouting counter trend bearish trades for just flips, just day trading, because the overall trend is bullish, RTY. This is still my favorite chart out there. This is absolutely my favorite chart. If you look on the 3-month, we have this potential bull flag. We're sitting in that 50 RSI on the 3-month. I just can't tell you how explosive these setups are. You can see down here we have the squeeze. We're holding the 50 RSI on the daily, on the weekly. So we could, I'm going to delete all my levels. We could come back and touch this 50 MA down here at 2181 and still be healthy. It could still be healthy. And that may happen where they do just a little head fake, get everybody out of their longs, and then resume higher. So squeezes can fire to the downside or to the upside. However, with a squeeze, your best probability is to go with the preceding trend. The preceding trend was up. We've been going sideways since February. Odds favor up. Doesn't mean we will fire up. I'm just going with overall probabilities. And look, we have a daily squeeze. We're holding the 50 RSI. So we are positioned well for IWM to break out. And that is a risk-on environment, meaning risk-on is that people aren't scared. When you're buying small and mid-cap names that haven't proven themselves enough, or they're not big enough to be in SPY, and you're investing in more speculative names, that's really saying that I have confidence in the market. So this bull break would be huge. So especially if tech misses earnings, it'll be even more crucial for this chart to break out long. Okay, let's clear off the graffiti. Get you some levels. 2298 and 2300 are important from the daily chart. Let's go into the hourly. So on the hourly, we're pulling back now. Oh, I had that. I wanted to show you that fib. That's what I had drawn earlier. Right here. We just hit the 65% retrace, the golden pocket. So that may come into play for IWM. And your next support on the hourly is 2258, 2258. YM. Dow, again, another hourly potential bull flag. Let's see where the higher low goes. I can't tell you how important it is for these hourly EMAs to hold. So on the pullback, you see how we went sideways here. I'm on the mouse struggle bus, folks, but again, I'm not in my normal setup. So we have the hourly squeeze. We coiled and we sprung out of that squeeze to the bullish side. So when we come back and retest these hourly EMAs, we need candle closes above. And for me, I use the 8 and 21 EMA. We need candle closes above. So I wanted to just go over a small exercise. I probably could have outlined this a little better, but some of my trader friends trade by correlations only. What do I mean by that? So look at this heat map. This is the heat map from yesterday, and this is on finviz.com. You can click on maps, and this is free. You don't have to be a member of Finviz to get this. You'll get some annoying ads usually, and you can immediately see what sectors are in favor. So here, technology in favor, communications in favor, consumer cyclical in favor. What was not in favor yesterday? Healthcare, industrials, utilities, real estate, consumer defensive, not that hot. So you can immediately see what's in favor, and this updates every 15 minutes. So usually 15 minutes after the market opens, this will update. You could go to this map and say, okay, what's hot today? You don't have to scan the chat room, which that does help if you have a chat room to scan, but you could come here and say, okay, what's hot? And then find the sectors in favor. I just made this up. So let's pretend XLF is in favor, bullish. XLK, all these are bearish, and this is bullish. Then now, what can I ascertain from XLF being bullish? Okay, look inside XLF. Is Bank of America making a new high of day when SPY is making a new high of day? Yes. Okay, they're strongly correlated. Is Goldman Sachs making a new high day when SPY makes a new high day? No. So basically, I start from a top-down approach. So the top is SPY. So I guess I should have put that here. SPY, bullish or bearish? Okay, so let's pretend the answer to this question is bullish. Okay, top-down approach. Next, what sectors are in favor? Which ones are bullish? XLF. Let's pretend like this map is all lit up green. Okay, within XLF, what are the names in favor? Who's green? Who's making new high of day when SPY is making a new high day? Or even better, who's making a new high of day when SPY is not making a high of day? That's relative strength. Okay, Bank of America. Okay, then that top-down approach, SPY bullish, XLF bullish, back outperforming Bank of America. Trade idea, watch Bank of America. Find a equilibrium pattern. Find a bull flag. Find a pullback to the 5-minute EMAs or EQ. And then Bank of America becomes my bull target. I hope this makes sense. So this is really important in trading. If you are a correlation trader, which all of us are correlation and divergence traders by nature, we have to be to some degree. That's a great top-down approach, visual as to how you can pick which name to trade for the day. I get that question a lot. How do you scan? I scan on volume, but once the market opens, I start looking at that heat map and saying, okay, what is in favor? What's not in favor? And then maybe I want to play bearish. If the market's going to consolidate this morning, I'm going to go find the puny kid on the playgrounds to go beat up and pick on. I don't want to go pick on the big bully. All right, crypto. Crypto had a bullish overnight. Here are your key resistances, 62,987. And then above that is the all-time high, 64899. This is a bold statement by me, but I just have to say odds favor a new all-time high on Bitcoin. Why? You're not going to get this close just to get this close. Typically, it becomes a magnet up here, a self-fulfilling self-fulfilling prophecy. That you come close, go touch that all-time high and get a new all-time high. It happens all the time in stocks. We see it where you're so close to all-time high and then you go tag it. So for me, this bodes well for Bitcoin bulls. It doesn't mean it will happen, but odds favor that it will. Support 61753 and 61050. It's the same thing with gap fills. Not all gap fills or not all gaps will be filled, but they seem to act as natural magnets. That's why that Merck gap, I wanted it filled and it didn't fill by a few cents, I think like 80 cents or whatever. But magnet gaps and all-time highs and even all-time lows can act as magnets. So I put them on charts. Not only is it resistance, but I'm looking for like a suction cup up to that all-time high. I don't know if my vocabulary is doing this justice on my concept. Support again, 61753, 61050. Nice clear 4-hour uptrend. Ethereum, not so clear. So we have 4-hour inside bars. Resistance 3819, support 3772. I guess it's clear what we have. What we have is an equilibrium on the 4-hour, and we have a relative underperformer compared to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin were to start pulling back and you're looking at the market as a whole, you want to go pick on, again, the puny kid, and Ethereum is weak. So it has this EQ. Ethereum will have its day, I'm assuming, but today ain't that day compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a relative outperformer. Gold. All right, gold. All right, you broke that resistance. I'm shocked because gold has not had a good day. So I would be looking to short gold if we got up to 1800. Yesterday, we did change the 4-hour trend, which was step 1. So the daily low is set. Let me look at that daily higher low is set at 1760, but odds favor a lower high compared to 1800. So let's just look at probabilities. That's what we do as traders. We talk about probabilities. Okay, so we have this higher high, higher low. Odds favor a lower high without a catalyst, a news catalyst for us to, let's see, what was that? Let me measure this real quick so I can tell you why. we pulled back to like the 75%. That was a huge pullback. So on a bounce, odds favor a lower high. How can you trade it? You can look at this 15-minute and say, okay, I'm going to wait for a 15-minute trend change. That was a big spike. That must have been news related. So you wait for that 15-minute lower high, lower low, and then you put your stop over that lower high, or you can put it over that higher high. Either way, that's a more aggressive stop up there. I'm not saying this is what's going to play out right here, right now, but top fishing, that daily lower high will most likely be set when the 15-minute trend changes to the downside. I don't know when the Bitcoin ETF goes live. That's a great question. If anyone knows, if you could post it in chat, that would be great. Hey, new daddy, Ronnie Green. I hope you got some sleep last night. Or more importantly, I hope your wife got some sleep last night. Okay, oil, I'm going to have to take all of my levels off because things have changed since I plotted this earlier this morning. Okay, so hourly lower high, most likely set here. And that's probably not accurate. Let's do 4-hour lower high is set. 4-hour lower high is most likely set. So tighter we go. I was bearish oil yesterday. I hope some of you took that trade with me. We got a good pullback. I covered yesterday around 81.50. It is Tuesday. We have API estimates out at 4:30 Eastern. We have oil inventory tomorrow. Don't forget about that. So the lower high on the 4-hour, odds favor a lower high, and then the tighter we go. So I have no trade right now on for oil, and I would just like to get through the API estimates and inventory and then target shorting oil again after inventory tomorrow. I don't need to just jump in with these binary events overhead that I have no control over the outcome and have no idea what is or is not going to be reported, nor do I have the fundamental capability to even understand it, nor do I care. Nat gas. So if you are in the chat room, I strongly suggest go look at Joey's post on Nat Gas. He's got a good handle on Nat Gas right now. We have support at 4735. We are at the weekly 8 EMA. This is typically where you would see bulls step in as we look for this weekly higher low. Hourly RSI got oversold. 4-hour RSI is oversold. So I'm looking long Nat Gas today. Long Nat Gas. Don't have inventory till Thursday. Did Nat Gas hear me talking and they're bouncing right now? So I don't have to worry about those binary events or news catalysts, so I can look long here on Nat Gas and below 485. That support is 473. Jorge, he doesn't post all of his trades, but he posts a lot of his trades. I don't think it's fair for us to ask him to post all of his trades, but when he is live, he walks you through trade ideas he either is taking or would take if he wasn't live. And then he posts, like yesterday, he had a CCJ or a HUT trade. He posted his CCJ trade, and his AMC trade was like one for the ages. He crushed it. So he posts, if I had to guess, just a rough estimate, probably 75% of his trades. And then on Thursdays, he is not live, and I think he trades a little more, and it's just more flips, and I don't think that he posts all of that, but he's always giving us trade ideas. So yes, a lot of it. All right, so that's Nat Gas. Now let's go into movers and shakers. Okay, Bill paying the bills. Bill upgrade to $360, and it has an hourly squeeze. I like Bill to the long side, and I like that this has been coiling. On ES, did I cover this? Sorry, y'all. Here, this is one thing I didn't say that I want to make sure that this is obvious. If your name is not in an uptrend, Houston, you have a problem. So with the market being this strong, if your bullish name, if you're long a name and it is not in an hourly uptrend, you have a problem. And that's what made me go bring the map up and bring that Excel spreadsheet up so you could see that top-down approach. So that means that you have hooked up with a loser. So just be sure that if your name is not in an uptrend and you're trying to go long and SPY is so strong, then you've got a relative underperformer. Okay, now back to Bill paying the bills. So Bill has an hourly squeeze. It has an upgrade to 360 this morning. 308.65 is the all-time high. Again, we have this close proximity. It doesn't always mean that it's going to come to fruition, but I like Bill to the long side. CELH. This reminded me of a no, wait, was it Bill? Bill, ASAN, and what was the one yesterday? NMED. Did any of y'all trade NMED? A lot of those charts look the same with like wonky cup and handles with bull flags. They look good. Okay, CELH. We have a squeeze. RSI is above 50. We have a squeeze. We have daily inside bars. It's an IBD name. I like CELH to the long side, but these long ideas, I would like to wait and get them off a pullback. So I want the market to consolidate the first 2 to 3 hours of the day. And then after it consolidates, get me a higher low that I can go bottom fish. So I like CELH to the long side, but at open may not be a good idea. Okay. Did any of y'all trade AKA yesterday? I think some people in our room did. So this is the same concept that I discussed with Bros last week. I discussed it yesterday about Bros last week. Got a lot of coverage initiations for these newer IPOs where it's the first time the banks come out and the institutions say, this is what I think it's worth. Here are the fundamentals, yada, yada. Well, they did that today on health. So it got its first initiation. It just started trading September 20th. Didn't mean to do that. So where did I put that? $12, $14, and $19. Decent risk reward setup. So I'm looking for coverage initiation. This like 30, 40% higher than where price is. And I like that this one is so close to support 980 and then 955 is the all-time low, well, in the past month. So I am looking potentially long and I would stop out if 980 is lost. So this setup represents a good risk reward. What an alliteration. Represents risk reward. It's too early in the morning for that. So what I mean is with a good risk reward, when you're so close to support and you have downward momentum, odds favor that the bears will take this out. However, if you get it right, you're so close to support that you could get a decent bounce in your risk to reward. So you could stop out at 60% of these setups, and the 40% that you do nail and you ride it and get some decent gains under your belt would be worth it. Sorry, looking for Kleenex. It would be worth it. So I like health. It's the similar setup as AKA yesterday. You got FCell, Jorge? Awesome. Okay. J&J. J&J raised guidance. Okay, I don't know what the vaccine companies did to Wall Street, but obviously they have made somebody mad because these names just keep getting hit hard. Johnson & Johnson with earnings this morning, they raised guidance. I just don't know that they deserve all of this bearishness. And if you look at mRNA, BNTX, Pfizer, they're all getting beat up like this. So I don't know if Johnson & Johnson can shake the vaccine dump. These vaccine companies, these charts all look the same. I guess it was just too priced to perfection, and they just keep getting sold off. But they did raise the next 12 months guidance. So I like J&J to the long side. If we can hold 158.75, it could be a decent bottom fish, kind of along the same lines as HLTH, meaning we're pretty close to support, high probability of not working out, but if it does, potential nice gains on the horizon. MQ, blockchain related name. Yesterday we had BTCM and BTC, I forget the other one, but this one, MQ, nice news. It's so crazy. Which crypto had a big day yesterday, so I don't know that my comment's going to be completely accurate, but do you think somebody knew that they were going to have big news today? So crazy. So some of that news may be priced in because it was bought up yesterday, and this is a pretty large range. However, if you get a nice 5-minute EQ, it could have a nice setup. Netflix. Yep, Don, exactly. Wait for that higher low. Let's look at AKA. That high of low bar approach. And if you're not a regular here, you're like, what is she saying? I have no idea. I go through, I'm very descriptive with my words. So you can ask everyone that I do go through some of these examples when time permits. So right here, Don, let's look at AKA yesterday. We double topped. All right, we pulled back. We get that higher low, we break that higher high, and then the bottom fish of 865 was the trade on AKA. So, and then it bounced nicely. So that could be some type of setup you get with HLTH. Okay, Netflix. Earnings after hours, weekly bull flag potential. It's set up very nicely, but it's set up nicely if mama market NASDAQ takes a break today. It needs to take a breather, pull back or go sideways. Or if Netflix runs hard today, it's not positioned well for earnings. This may have been priced to perfection, this daily cup and handle. I mean, let's be real. When's the last earnings? I'm all about relativity. Let's benchmark where we are. And let's look at reality. So Netflix has gone up 28% since the last earnings in June. So has Netflix market cap and valuation gone up 28% in 3 months? Is that valid? I mean, can the market bear that? Is it worth it? I don't know. But we have to keep that in mind. Yes, this chart is positioned so well. With that weekly bull flag, we had this weekly squeeze back here. This was a beautiful swing report name that we nailed. Thanks to Dan calling out the cup and handle. So we shall see, but I know that Netflix bulls should be begging mama market to take a breather today. Pin. Daily and weekly squeezes with an upgrade and a little, it's not ideal, but it has that same market inverse head and shoulders. This is an IWM holding. If IWM can break bull, it would help these names. We're butting up against the 50 RSI on the weekly. So let's see what the bulls can do with this upgrade news. Give you one more level. And if I'm ever going too fast, just hit the pause button and then take a screenshot if you want these levels. PROG. So here's your job. I'm kidding, it's my job. But look at these daily inside bars on PROG. This is a dreamy setup. If you find setups like this, how about you bring them to us? That's what I'm looking for every day. We got one on a firm a while back I found. So I'm constantly digging for these setups. Why? Because you get that tightening range and it just coils up like a snake. And if it breaks to the upside, you typically get some explosiveness, and same thing if it breaks to the downside. So your job, if you choose to take it, is bring us more setups like this, and I will continue to dig for more setups like this. So anyway, PROG, bullish this morning, lots of pre-market volume. Remember this 270 level. Remember that level. If we pull back to 270, that could be a great area to go long. 271, 270. Matter of fact, I'm going to set an alert because that's where I would like to go long. And otherwise, I don't like the risk reward up here because basically I missed the move. And it's irresponsible to enter up here unless I get a setup. I can't, if I just look at a chart and say, oh, it's bullish, I can't just enter because it's bullish. I need a setup. I need an EQ. I need a high low bar. I need a stair step. I need something. Tesla, Lord have mercy. This name has been running. Hair is on fire. Tesla lead bull, scouting 5-minute oversold conditions, looking for hourly high or low. I just got an alert on this and I don't know why. I had the alert set for 5 minutes and this little spike down made it go off. But 5-minute RSI, let me set it again. Up here in the nosebleed section, that's the only responsible trade that I can see is 5-minute oversold conditions. And they have earnings, I believe, on Thursday. Please confirm. Beautiful chart. And if you held it from last week, congratulations. UPST got a downgrade from Bank of America. Bank of America was mad that they missed this run. I'm just kidding. I don't know that. But I gave you 355. No, that wasn't it. Oh, I know what it was. It was right here. 355.51 was the area, and we hit 357.47. I hope some of you grabbed this bottom. I was able to scalp some of it out here. I was watching the high low bar setup. So 355.51 would make this still a bull flag, and it held it yesterday. Let's see what the bulls can do today, but they're positioned well now that they got the Bank of America downgrade out the way. SPY, I didn't do levels because the futures is so important because there's so much activity going off in futures. But I thought the SPY chart was good to show you an outside bar and the probability or possibility of getting a megaphone or a broadening formation. When I looked at it on ES, it wasn't as had already broken bull. So again, I was watching that on SPY and QQQ, but it's no longer valid because futures made such a huge move. So again, I would just stick with futures charts for levels. I have time for one. Oh, thanks, Jorge. Awesome. Okay, I've got time for one chart, and Dan will be live in 3 minutes. I'm so glad that I didn't get dropped. Those frames scared me at the beginning. Okay, zoom. Is it an inverse head and shoulders? Let's look. Yeah, absolutely. And it's confirming. Over 274.57, it's confirmed. And it hit 274.83. Bulls want a little bit more follow through on that. 275.24 is your next resistance. Okay, I'll check. Okay, one more wish. And then I'm headed to the airport. And I will see you good folks tomorrow. Okay, wish. I wish it wasn't so bearish. 488, 492 double bottom here on the daily. Bulls need to see that hold and then get back up over 530. All right, now I'm done. Y'all have a wonderful day and use stop losses.